Now, some of the challenges, the personal computers cost have dropped dramatically since last year. And so the difference is not as great as it was. It's still pretty significant. The internet appliance, and there are three basic savings for the enterprise deployment: a cheaper piece of hardware, less software licenses, and fewer support requirements, so that our staffing levels for desktop support can shrink over time. The internet appliance have some serious challenges. We've implemented the first wave of the enterprise deployment, about 10% of our desktops in 5 departments: finance and administration, human resources, planning and development, the library's administrative staff. The first deployment was in the public access terminals. Now we've implemented to the library staff, and then my department, information technology.
And you estimate of the 14,000 possible users at the city, half of them will use these internet appliances?
What I said was that was what the original return on investment assumed. Since I came to the city after this contract was approved, I was not involved in that estimate of the ROI. But I think, as I said to you during the break, the notion of the government reducing its hardware costs, its software cost, and its support cost are very meritorious business objectives and should be pursued very aggressively. The challenge we have, frankly, is that when the project was conceived, I don't think our business units, our departments, were involved enough in the planning and in the ROI, and I don't know that the vendor contemplated the integration challenges as much for the department and citywide applications as what we're seeing today. So we're entering the final phases of the first wave of deployment. I suspect that the enterprise deployment may have 3 to 5 waves to it as we work our way through the city. And it appears that some of the best uses of the internet appliances, if we can overcome the integration challenges, will be those remote sites. For example, at the Houston Public Library, with our budget trying to reduce our expenditures, the microtext staffing has dropped from 4 to 2. So when a PC at a branch library goes down, it takes a week for that technician to get out there. If it was an internet appliance, they could repair it remotely, wouldn't have to send anybody. Okay. So it has tremendous benefits if we can make it work.
Okay. Well, Kent, before the show, I asked you to take a look at SIM Houston and the SIMDesk project, and wanted you to make kind of a judgment on whether you thought our $9.5 million was a good expenditure, was worthwhile, and what we can look forward to. So what is your opinion of the program?
Well, based on the fact that the competitor's product, it costs $300 or $400 a license, and so far we've got 73,000 users. The cost per license now is $131 per license, so it's already benefited the public as a whole. And as more people get online, that cost is going to go down. And since the city of Houston has purchased 3 million licenses, the cost is about approximately $3, just a little over $3 per license for every user. So that is a very good cost.
What about the efficiency or the speed of the system? Are we going to sacrifice speed in the name of dollars, or how is that going to work?
No, actually, SIMDesk, I've been interacting with them for the last 2 months, and any problems that I've discovered, they've worked out in a very efficient manner.
What about during peak hours? Has that been a problem?
Well, as a whole, the internet is slow during peak hours.
Is SIMDesk going to update its connections? Is it going to have a faster speed?
Yes, in fact, they're going to be moving their facility in mid-May, and 2 reasons that they're moving is they've run out of space, and the second reason they're moving is so that they can have faster internet access.
Okay. Now, you and I had talked earlier about 2 basic problems: spam, the junk emails,
right,
and pornography. Is this system of SIM Houston going to be able to filter that out, or are we still going to be plagued by those problems?
Well, with SIM Houston, they're not going to have as much of a problem because they typically, the reason spam is so rampant on an unsecured system is because of the global address list. If somebody gets a hold of that, and there are 14,000 Houston employees that have internet access, and a company gets a hold of that list, of course they're going to use it for spam. Well, SIM Houston doesn't have a list like that. They keep all their clients private, so it's going to be less of a problem.
Okay.
Now they're still going to have a problem, but it's going to be far less of a problem.
Now, Richard mentioned that people can store documents on there. Is it a certain amount of space that each user has, or how is it limited?
Yeah, Kent may know this better than I do, but I believe it's 25 megabytes.
That's correct.
But the data is compacted and encrypted, so it's greater than 25 megabytes in light of that it's been compacted. I think for, as you know, Councilmember, we're talking with school districts about using this product and potentially selling some of our licenses to them, because they can set up a separate domain, have instant messaging for their students and faculty, and each class could have a group associated with it. The group functionality of this product is pretty superior. But getting back to your point, the schools have a potential use, businesses have a use. Now, with a business environment, the storage capacity may be an issue, and there may need to be some third party, like the Greater Houston Partnership or the Emerging Business Council, that would facilitate purchase of additional storage through some kind of utility mechanism. And I'm hoping that we end up having opportunities like that and challenges like that to work on, so that the business community can use it. Because startup businesses, if they want to get their employees to have a library card, they can use this product for free.
Okay. Well, our time is almost up, but Ken, I wanted you to get a chance again to give us the website where people need to go to, and also your website and your company's name. What is your website?
It's HoustonRepair.com. Again, my company's name is Computer Rescue and Network Services.
Okay. And where do people need to, is that the website they need to go to get the information you had talked about?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for joining us. Thank you, Kent Harris and Richard Lewis, Director of IT Department. I hope this show has been informative to you. I hope that you'll take advantage of this program now that we have it. And I hope you'll join us again on our next program of What's to See.